Hey there out there in YouTube land. We are back with members of the Florida Powerboat Club on our YouTube channel. This is Stu Jones with producer Ryan McCoy in the Pompano Beach studio, and we are continuing coverage of the Tampa Bay Poker Run 2020 edition, celebrating 10 years of this Florida West Coast event. And we normally stage this event in the spring every year, but because of the COVID crisis, we had to cancel the event and wait all through the summer. We're back now in Tampa in the early fall season, last weekend of September, and we are moving forward and adapting to the pressures and the climate of COVID-19. Of course, boating gives us that opportunity by social distancing, staying in the cockpits of our own boats, and we, of course, are working closely with all of our event partners, including the restaurants, the marinas, and the hotels that we work with to maintain those new COVID-friendly event guidelines that will keep our participants and our service providers safe. So before we continue coverage, let's thank our sponsors. Florida Powerboat Club's 2020 series sponsors include Deep Impact Custom Boats and their associated brand, Blackwater Boats, Nortec High Performance Boats, Midnight Express Powerboats, Myco Trailers, Performance Boat Center, Mystic Powerboats, Superior Communications, and Mercury Racing Wide Open. In addition to our series sponsors, as seen here on our Tampa masthead, we had DR Performance, who attended as a sponsor with their 32-foot Spectre Cat, and we had Statement Marine on board, our local builder, and they put on a great show here at the Tampa event. So let's get back with our Florida Powerboat Club members here at the Maximo Marina. It's an IGY marina in St. Petersburg, and I think it's one of the nicest marinas that we visit here in the area. You can see by all these floating docks, and the restaurant we visited here, it's called the Tiki Dock, and it's a perfect boater-friendly stopover because they've got transient dockage. And, of course, if you're a resident here in the marina, I mean, this is going to be your hangout. And let's start introducing some of our members and some new blood in the club here. Team Fast Times, Chris and Tammy Moore came all the way from Texas with their 32-foot fountain, 1,200 miles each way, and that won them the farthest traveled award. You know, I think this drone video illustrates above all that there is tremendous variety in our fleet here today, from these outboard powered catamarans, of course, center consoles powered by triple and quad engine setups, and these classic V-bottoms, formulas and cigarettes, and that truly classic Popeyes race boat from the mid-'80s offshore racing scene. And it just reminds us what the evolution of this sport has been in the last, say, 20 years since poker runs have grown in popularity. Now we just see the most incredible machines like Pete Rivero's MTI here, 340X, powered by Mercury Racing 400Rs. Here's a boat that will just cruise all day long at 100 miles an hour and get about 2 miles to the gallon. You can run, regular pump fuel in these motors and just do the oil changes, and you're good to go. And I would have to say it's that reliability and the lower maintenance and the peace of mind that you get with that has made poker runs so much more accessible for so many people. And then you can add into the fact that, with a decent F250 or 350, a full-size pickup truck, and a Myco aluminum trailer, you're good to go. You're rolling down the highway safely. You don't have to hire a hauling company to move your boat around. And you can just move around the country and go to poker runs until the money runs out or your wife says, hey, no more. But not the wives in the Florida Powerboat Club, because they like boating as much as hubby does. And I think that's the magic of this lifestyle formula that we have created here in this sport. And I look down at Nick Buis here on that 42 Statement Ultimate, and I can't help but think of what he said on Friday evening about how we have just come so far. I remember meeting Nick back in the early 90s, and he was a mechanic on a boat, and look where we both are now. He's running a major performance manufacturer, and I'm still at the helm of this really cool organization we call Florida Powerboat Club after, 28 years. And segue now to Weston Harlow, who we're looking down at in this 35 DCB. He came into the club more than 10 years ago in a little 26-foot single-engine rinker. It was basically a family runabout, but he got bit by the bug and became one of our up-and-comers, and has since then bought a Formula From there to like a 38-foot express catamaran, then to a 38-foot cigarette Top Gun, which he had for a couple years, and now this DCB, 35-foot cat with Mercury Racing 700s. It's just amazing to see how people have come into the sport, fallen in love with the sport, met so many new boating friends, and have made their decision, well, this is the lifestyle for me, and I'm here to stay. And for those of you who comment on my YouTube page and say, how come there's no brothers in the club? Well, hell yeah, we got brothers. Guys like Rufus Scott from Georgia and his 47-foot fountain, 555s, leading the brother charge, and one of the best guys you'll ever meet and passionate about this boating lifestyle. Let's say hi to Robbie and Anjamula from Georgia also with this Spectre 32-foot cat. He's got his new partner on board. That's Dane, and they are DR. That's Dane and Robbie Performance. They are official dealers for the new Spectre cat, which is now being built in Ohio. Their dealership is in Lake Lanier, Georgia. Well, now working our way back down the dock as we climb on board the Project 1080, I guess it's going to be time to untie the lines and start heading back to downtown Tampa as we wrap up this fantastic lunch stopover on a beautiful Friday. Thanks to the staff at Tiki Docks. They did a wonderful job of greeting our guests. And, of course, to the staff here at the IGY Maximo Marina, a landmark marina with these amazing covered slips for all boat sizes, floating docks everywhere. You're not going to find a nicer marina anywhere in Florida, guys. This is first class. I checked their rates. You can put your boat on a boat lift in a covered slip here for about $1,000 a month. I don't think you're going to find those kind of rates anywhere else in the state of Florida. And think of the protection that you're getting from the weather, the elements, and the sun, saving a lot of money on additional maintenance to the boat. And there goes Ryan climbing on Project 1080 with the camera. Going to get some good boat-to-boat shots as we head back from this St. Petersburg area back to downtown Tampa. And what a perfect day for it. So it's time to say farewell to the Tiki Docks and IGY Maximo Marina. We can't wait to come back again next year. So it's time to enjoy this Powerboat Parade one more time as we depart Maximo Marina through this residential canal. And there's a lot of people that sneak out into their backyards and get in on the fun, and you get a lot of people waving at us and taking pictures, and why wouldn't you? This isn't very often that you have like 40 powerboats cruising by your dock in the course of, say, 20 minutes. But everybody was very respectful and keeping the boats to idle speed. And then once we get out of that channel, you can get back up on plane and start running. There's a couple different ways to make your way back. And the girls don't care either way. They just want a little wind in their hair and a little bit of sunshine. We've got a few fixed bridges to pass through, but even the center consoles were able to clear the bridges as we headed out to the bay. And we were joined by Waylon Joe in his brand new 42-foot Mystic. I promised him that we would go back a different way, a little bit more of a roundabout trip, but getting out towards the Sunshine Skyway so we could make our way through the center section. I just wanted him to be able to drop a few breadcrumbs in his GPS so we could see some of the different options you can take when you're cruising in and out of St. Petersburg. We try to do that as much as possible because with your Garmin's, the more tracks that you have, the more opportunities you have to take different routes depending on what the weather is and where you want to go. There is that landmark Sunshine Skyway, and that was our intent, was to put a track through the center of the Skyway, and for some of the boats that have never been here before, because remember, this is where we're going to stage our money shot the following day and head towards Egmont Key for poker card number 2. Well, those conditions were just fantastic for that little ride across Tampa Bay. It didn't take us more than about 15 minutes to make it from the Sunshine Skyway to here in the Seddon Channel, which is about 20 feet deep and separates Harbor Island from the Davis Islands. And there's our one and only fuel stop there at the Yacht Club. Looks like it's getting plenty of attention from our club members today. And just nearby this location, we just passed it actually, about a half mile back is where the boat ramp is. So everything is pretty conveniently located here in this downtown Tampa venue, and I think most people that have moved here from the original event when we did it at the Vinoy, it was certainly nice there at the Vinoy in downtown St. Petersburg, but we really outgrew that venue. We were limited to about 25 boats, and we didn't quite have the facilities, and I think the vibrant nightlife here that we now have being right downtown Tampa, there's so many more options. And it looks like the girls of Team Joe Jack, that's our new member Waylon Joe, his lady Jessica, her sister Allison, and his son Stefan, who's at the helm now, enjoying their first event with the club. And a quick shout out to George Ariano, who is a very safety conscious guy. Notice he's got his lifeline jacket on at this time. And now with the boats off playing, it's time to take the life jackets off, turn up the stereo, and enjoy this idle speed ride back to the home port. And this shot here kind of puts everything in perspective. That's the Tampa Convention Center straight ahead with the floating dock facility that we're staying at. Just to the right is the Westin Waterside. This shot is from the hotel room actually overlooking. This was our cameraman Joe shooting through the hotel room window, so it gives you an idea of just how close you are to the venue. And I think some of these video shots are going to give you a better idea of just how well situated everything is here at this venue. We call this section of docks the sponsor dock. As you can see on the left, that's Mystic, and then you've got Statement, and then Nortec. And as always, we do as much rafting as we possibly can so we can maximize this facility and keep everybody really close to their hotel. Now there is one other set of docks as you look way across there at Jackson's Bistro on the left and American Social. That's called The Point. It's mostly commercial operators and monthly, so it's really off limits to the club. So this rafting scenario here at the Tampa Convention Center is really a must-do if we want to maximize our space and make the best of this venue. Well, I think our video producer has got himself a great vantage point to capture all of these shots as the boats come in. Some of us are headed for happy hour, but a videographer calls this the magic hour because the sun is low and the colors on the boats will be vibrant, so time to get some great shots to close out the day.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I wanna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10.
And all the while, the boats take a rest and get ready for a big day. It's time for our members to gather at the Marriott, check in with Jackie Jones, and pick up the captain's bags. And, of course, we're going to have a little captain's meeting to go over the events for the following day. And in compliance with social distancing guidelines, the hotel had us set up with these spaced out chairs for all of our captains. In fact, we had to have 2 separate captains meetings so that we could meet those guidelines because we had 46 registered teams. But that format worked out well, and we got all of our teams checked in, and we were able to close up shop for the day and start enjoying some of the great dining and entertainment options offered in downtown Tampa. Well, guys, let us not forget that we have plenty of footage from that earlier Girls of FPC photo shoot that we did over at IGY Marina. During the lunch stop, Pete and Ryan had their cameras rolling, and we had Chloe and Jocelyn jumping from boat to boat as we gave you guys what you came here for. So please enjoy this segment as we get ready for the Tampa Bay Poker Run 2020. And it's Saturday morning, ready for the poker run here on the docks at the Tampa Convention Center. And what a fantastic day we have ahead of us. Of course, Friday we just had a simple format fun run to a single destination. But today with the poker run, we're going to be starting off by getting poker cards here at the dock and then hitting multiple checkpoints. And we have, I think, a total of 4 restaurant locations for lunch today because of those CDC guidelines that we keep talking about. You know, we can't pack 180 to 200 people into one lunch stop. So we have 4 locations. Our destination today is going to be Bradenton, Florida on the Manatee River. More on that later. But meanwhile, there's a lot going on here on the docks at the Tampa Convention Center. And there's a lot of sunscreen being spread around here on the Gilo's Midnight Express. You know, I wonder if you can get paid to do that. Remember Dumb and Dumber when they said we're looking for a guy to rub lotion on the Hawaiian Tropic models? But this is where you want to be if you're here to check out the high-performance hardware. And, you know, it's only been about a year since this Mercury Racing 450R was released, and they're just everywhere. Not to mention these giant Garmins that you're starting to see on all of the performance boats. And I'm just amazed when I walk around the docks and I see how far we've come with this high-performance hardware.
Then the yellow and then the green. So I want all the cats to get their cards first and then just keep going on down the channel.
He's got his spot. I love
And that, my friends, was Scott Jobin, who has always had a very firm grip on life. And this is the part of the show where I can say, without doubt, let the game begin. And of course, that game is poker, and it's a poker run, everybody. If you haven't watched these episodes before, each team is going to pick up a sealed envelope, each carrying a poker card. They're not allowed to open the envelopes until the end of the day, and that is when we will reveal all of our poker run winners. So altogether, 46 teams competing today, each of them required to pick up poker cards throughout the day, starting with this first checkpoint at the Tampa Convention Center from the docks. And this is really the best opportunity to get up close and personal with our teams because we have the camera positioned right here on the dock alongside our FPC girl, Chloe, who's handing the cards out right now. And this is the opportunity to really see the boats up close and meet the people up close. We're going to let the audio run so you can hear what's being said. And it doesn't matter what kind of boat they have, there is one common denominator from every team, and that is that they are all here to have some fun. It's very clear that Mystic made a fabulous representation here on this event, but I want everyone to pay close attention to this new model. It's their new 3800. First time we've seen this model on a Florida Powerboat Club event. This one's powered by Quad Mercury Racing, the new 300Rs. From 4 outboards to 6 mermaids, guys, it's just going to keep getting better from here on in. This is why I love the poker card checkpoint segment. Well, I'm guessing that right about now you guys can understand why we enjoy this card segment as much as we do. Still a few teams to go, but at this point, our videographer Joe went ahead to the lunch stops to get some drone. We're now catching up with Darius Cereza, who had a few repairs he got done. Gonna get a little loud now because I shot most of these from the Project 1080 with those twin Mercury 540s idling. Clearly a lot of energy here on the dock as we get started. I think that we got about half of our teams videotaped here in this segment, so apologies to the others. It's impossible for us to get all of the teams in one video segment, and we'd be here forever. But thanks to everybody for coming up to the dock to get their cards. And for those of you who may have been missed, well, I'm sure we're going to see lots of you in our continuing coverage. And on completion of gathering up our first poker card, we're going to be heading out onto the Tampa Bay waters. And as we do that, I want to point out that a lot more of our club members have helped us out with video footage, mounting these GoPros and some of these Garmin Verve cameras on their boats. And I want to thank everyone. This is Brian Hoare's 36-foot statement, and now we're riding on board, I think, with Ralph and Daniel Munyon on their 36-foot statement cat. And special thanks to Dara Cereza on Team Donzi. They had this very cool 360-degree camera, and just a little later, some awesome footage from Chris Lamorte on his 36 skaters. So lots of cool stuff here for this episode, and the last look at Tampa until the end of the day when we return. And riding on board Project 1080, trying to get a few shots for my iPhone, couldn't resist shooting this 300-foot motor yacht. I forget the name of the boat, but it was just anchored quietly just outside in the Tampa Bay. I think they wanted a front row seat for the poker run. And here's what everything looks like from our Tampa Bay Aviation helicopter. That's Pete Bowden in the front seat, producer Ryan McCoy in the back seat, and the pilot, well, he is freaking out right about now because he's never done any high-speed stuff with powerboats. So my guys had to break him in, and somehow they managed to get through the photo flight. Well, this is going to be a really interesting segment, guys, and a time-honored tradition here to get that famous money shot traveling through the Sunshine Skyway. We've got the helicopter flying and a handful of onboard cameras, this one now riding with Chris Lamorte. And the most important thing we focused on was making sure that the channel was clear before they got a start, and that's what we did. There were a couple of boats that were in the channel and presenting a threat, so the guys held off, and when the time was right, away they went. And here we got it, guys. Magically, we pulled off the first money shot. That's the high performance group, or group one. We still have two more groups after this, the performance class and then, of course, the sport boat class. But, guys, you did a great job, in spite of the fact that we had a couple of party crashers. But this is what we came for. And right on schedule, the performance class was ready to do their segment now, riding on board with DJ Cereza now with this incredible 360 camera. And we have never used these cameras before, but they certainly reveal the fact that nobody on this boat is wearing life jackets either. But this is a great shot. As you can see, the other performance V-bottoms, I think that Louis Sotero is the other Donzi riding alongside. I'm not sure what the other boats are, but it's a smaller group, with all the center consoles and with all of these high-speed outboard cats. the performance V-bottom is just something that is no longer what we would consider to be mainstream on these poker run events. By the way, cool shot, guys. Very well done. And there she is. Really only 4 boats. I see 2 tailing behind, about 6 boats to get this shot. Looks like 3 of them did all the heavy lifting. And our group number 3 sport boat class, which is about half the poker run. Going to be at least 20 teams in this group, and they're all spread out nicely. Still have that sailboat in the middle of the course, so obviously everyone's going to clear that. So imagine that you're a still photographer and you capture this moment and crop it tight, and that's going to be your money shot. And with all that excitement, guys, we have gotten well past the half-hour mark, and that means it's time to sign off, completing episode 2 with our feature coverage of the Tampa Bay Poker Run 2020 edition, which was postponed from earlier this year in March all the way through the fall of 2020 due to COVID restrictions. But we're back on the water having fun with club members, and there's plenty more coverage of this 10th anniversary of the Tampa Bay Poker Run 2020. And with more coverage to come, guys, you don't want to miss another episode. So be sure to subscribe to this channel, Florida Powerboat Club on YouTube, and click that notification bell so you get an update every time a new episode is released. Our 2021 season is just around the corner, so be sure to check out the website at flpowerboat.com for all of the details about upcoming poker run events in 2021, as well as membership information. You can follow us on Facebook at Florida Powerboat Club, and you can follow us on Twitter and on these Instagram pages. Thanks to all of our viewers for your wonderful comments on our page, and you guys know who you are, and I really do appreciate that. But if you have questions or comments you want to direct to me specifically, please use my personal email at stu@flpowerboat.com. I check that daily, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching, guys. From our FPC studios in Pompano Beach, this is Stu Jones, along with our producer, Ryan McCoy. And please remember, guys, if you're out boating during the holiday season, remember that the Florida waterways are extremely congested this time of year. So be safe, wear your life jacket when the time is right, and most of all, be respectful to your fellow boaters. Happy holidays from the Florida Powerboat Club. Bye for now, guys.